All right, hello. It is I, Gomi, and we're back with some more coverage of UFC 281. We're going to be looking at the next fight in the card: Frankie Edgar versus Chris Gutierrez at bantamweight. Oh, Frankie, please. I'm not looking forward to this fight. I'm not. I'm sorry. I get it. It's a send-off for Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar at Madison Square Garden, one of the biggest venues for the UFC. That's amazing. I don't like who they gave him. Make no mistake, I'm not super high in Chris Gutierrez, but he has plenty of avenues to murder Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar, one of the greats, a legend, one of the champions of the golden era of UFC. But he's 41 years old. He's moving down to bantamweight. There's so many red flags. But oh well, the fight's happening. I'm going to go over it. Look at the tail of the tape. Frankie Edgar. The answer. 41 years of age. 23 wins, 10 losses, 1 draw. That draw? Gray Maynard. Whew. Great fight. 6 KOs, 4 submissions, 5'6" in terms of height. He's going to fight out of the orthodox stance, 68-inch reach advantage, surprisingly enough. A 2.30 takedown average, pay attention to that, and a 31.47% significant strike accuracy. And he's a plus 180 underdog. He has significant wins over Pedro Munoz, Yair Rodriguez, Jeremy Stevens, Chad Mendes, and I wanted to throw Gray Maynard in there, but I don't think that fight's going to be relevant, honestly, almost at all for this fight. But yes, he beat Gray Maynard. Ooh, man. Chris Gutierrez, 31 years of age, boasting record of 18 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws. 8 knockouts, 1 submission, 5'9" in terms of height, fighting out of the orthodox stance, 67-inch reach disadvantage, a 0.44 takedown average. This guy is a striker almost exclusively, and he has a significant strike accuracy of 37.50%. He is a minus 220 favorite, as he should be. Now, Chris Gutierrez is not... He's more newer. He's not as established as someone like Frankie Edgar. That's why he really only has 2 significant wins I put in there. And honestly, 1 I put in there for a different reason, which is his win against Felipe Colares. First, let's go into Frankie Edgar and his main avenues. His main avenue that he must implore. Takedowns. Not super high takedown accuracy, but that's because we have a very high data pool due to how long Frankie Edgar's been fighting. But he has some takedowns. He's good at them. I'm not going to expect a lot of power from Frankie Edgar ever since he's moved down, not just from lightweight to featherweight to bantamweight. We really have not seen a lot of power by him. I don't think his power has transitioned at all. He's become more of a volume striker, to be honest with you, and he's a decision king. But, how has his last fight been going, honestly? Well, he got annihilated by Vera, annihilated by Sandhagen, and then he beat Munoz, who nobody can finish Munoz. Power is not there, but his wrestling is there, and that's going to be his main key. Because Chris Gutierrez, while he does actually have a pretty good takedown defense from what I remember, takedown defense of 74%, not bad at all. But in his fights, he gets taken down a lot. And he gets held down. He doesn't really do a good job of getting up back to his feet. That's something I really notice. And that's something I could easily see Frankie Edgar use to abuse. I could absolutely see Frankie Edgar taking him down on the ground and keeping him there. We kind of saw a little bit of this in the Chito Vera fight, to be honest with you. He really used his ground game just when it got standing. Chris Gutierrez, though, hits hard. He's got some good power to him. He's definitely a power hitter. He's got some really good leg kicks. His leg kicks do damage. So might as well move into Chris Gutierrez and his avenues for victory, which I think are more vast than Frankie Edgar's, because I think his only option is to wrestle. Oh, man. Let's look at his knockout. A beautiful spinning back fist against Batgirel Dana. He hit him hard. He hit him hard. That was a hard shot. And that is absolutely something we could see akin to what Sandhagen and Chito Vera did to Frankie Edgar, because his chin is sus. Especially coming off that brutal knockout against Chito Vera. Don't even get me started on the fact at how long ago was that? That fight was last Madison Square Garden. That was the last Madison Square Garden card. It was 268. Frank Edgar's been off for literally a year. Literally a year. That's a layoff. I don't believe in ring rust, but I do believe in layoffs due to damage or knockouts. Basically what that means is the fighter needed a lot more time to recover. Hence, he was compromised from that last knockout. I just don't see much ways for Frankie Edgar to do this. I wish they gave him a better guy. I really wish they gave him a better guy to fight against. I wish they gave him more of a tune-up fight. They gave him a much more younger and hungrier, but not all that fighter. But still, this guy has everything he needs to knock out poor Frankie, and I just don't want to see that. Doesn't have really much of a threat on the ground, as you can see by his takedown average. He is not a takedown guy. He's not going to be imploring that. Hardly ever attempts any sort of submissions. He's got some pretty good... doesn't take a lot of hits, though. That's also another bad thing for Frankie Edgar. Honestly, like I said, Frankie, his main options, his main avenues for victory, he's got to take this guy down. He's got to hold him there with dear life and just keep pot shot, pot shot, pot shot. Maybe he can wear him down or get him tired and maybe get a... I don't trust Frankie getting a KO at this stage. I really don't. While Batgirl, his main thing is he just needs to avoid some haphazard takedowns. He just needs to not... If he does get taken down, he just needs to not let himself stay on the bottom. And he just needs to throw power, throw pressure, throw some aggression. Honestly, go for the chin and throw nothing but heat and kill shots, and he could absolutely take out Frankie Edgar. I don't like this fight. I don't like the fact they're doing this. I don't like this as a send-off for Frankie Edgar. I also don't like how he's public about him being his announcement fight. You can tell his eyes are on retirement. Hopefully he goes out there and he throws on one last war. I would love that. Be bad for his health, but if he were just survive and throw one last war out there, a la Luke Rockhold, actually a lot like Luke Rockhold, to be honest with you, because Luke Rockhold also is a guy who's known for his very sus chin, and he went out there and he put on a war against a power hitter like Costa. So maybe we could see that from Frankie Edgar. You don't know. Maybe Frankie Edgar could go in there guns blazing and take out Chris Gutierrez. That would be interesting, but unlikely. Being realistic, it's unlikely. Overall, my official prediction for this fight: Chris Gutierrez, second round TKO. No, second round KO. I don't have faith for Frankie Edgar for this, but I want to. Who am I rooting for, though? I'm gonna go with Chris Gutierrez, to be honest with you. Yeah. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think this was a good Frankie Edgar fight, and let me know also in the comments what's your favorite fight by Frankie Edgar and some of the good things he did for the sport. Just throw a little bit of positivity at the same, because this is going to be his retirement fight. Well, this has been Gomi. Bye bye.